Hello, my name is Mike the Mighty and welcome to my video. Today we're going to be discussing my version of the top 9 elite specializations. We're going to be discussing the elite specs regarding how much they change the class that they're currently being added to, also how good they are, and basically players' feedback regarding them. So let's talk about, first of all, number 9. So at number 9 we actually have the Berserker. Now the reason why I've gone for the Berserker is primarily because I found it in the betas very disappointing. It really didn't change the way warriors play. It's a extra way to do damage, but again the rage skills really aren't fantastic. The unique ability to go berserk, again you're not doing too much damage. It's an F2 skill, but it's only modifying the F1 skill for all the individual weapons. And I found it a little bit underwhelming. And for me, I don't think it's a great way for the warriors to develop. If I play a Berserker warrior right now, or a warrior with soldier's gear, am I really going to want to be and play a Berserker? No. And so for me, that's one of the reasons why, along with the lackluster abilities, the limited increase in damage, as well as the fact that it's not really a big change for the warrior, and getting a torch skill, which again really, okay, the animations are phenomenal, but very lackluster. For me, that's why it's number 9. At number 8, we have the Scrapper. A very disappointing elite spec in my opinion. I think the benefits are, of the Scrapper, the hammer is phenomenal. It's some amazing skills that they're getting. It's DPS for sure for the engineer, which is a big class change, and one that I had high hopes for the Scrapper. I thought it was going to be a lot higher. I was talking to one of my guildies pre the Heart of Thorns beta, and he was saying, oh, the Scrapper's going to be really good. It's going to be like my second top favourite. And the engineers, all the engineer mains were like, yeah, Scrapper. But the Scrapper's pretty lackluster again. It's the gyros really don't last too long enough. They don't give enough damage, they don't give enough support. The only gyro that really made much difference to me was the elite specializations elite skill, which was the stealth gyro, which is kind of perma-stealth, and it was really good to see that in action, although the gyro I don't believe remains stealth, so you can see where you are. But the rest of the gyros, again, just don't last long enough. They were designed, or they were imagined to be like mobile turrets or the version of minions, but they only last 15 to 20 seconds, not long enough for you to get all of the drones up, because they'll just self-destruct. So for me, the Scrapper, very disappointing. However, it does have the opportunity and the skills in place to become a lot higher. If they buff up the drones and the gyros, man, the Scrapper's going to go up on my list. But for me, right now, the Scrapper is number 8. At number 7, it's primarily one that a lot of people don't like, and that is the Dragon Hunter. A class that, from the get-go, with the name for a start, the Dragon Hunter, then getting Longbow, which a lot of Guardians do not like, then getting changes to the virtues, again, which a lot of Guardians do not like. It's just been pretty poor the whole way through. Traps in PvP were really overpowered, however they are nerfing a lot of the damage being dealt, but they are changing as well for the actual release. So the Guardian's elite spec, the Dragon Hunter, is getting changed as we go along. The reason why I don't have it at bottom is because it is a fundamental change for Guardians. It is a ranged, we're using traps, it's a big change for the Guardian, but for me, it's the reason why it's higher than the Berserker and the Scrapper is because it can do some really good damage in PvP, and that's one of the things what actually put it at number 7 on my list. At number 6, we have again a elite spec that I really didn't think I would like, and when I read about it, particularly some of the auras, the Tempest for me, as a main character, main Elementalist, I really didn't see the point in us having this elite specialization. My mind has been changed because I still don't think I'm going to run the Tempest as my main character. It's not worth it. A staff elementalist will do a lot more damage, and that is what I'm built up for. However, there are roles in Guild Wars 2 for Tempest. It has some very interesting gameplay. It's got some great support skills. The animations are incredible on it. I definitely feel that the Tempest is a elite spec that a lot of people will actually use. It can be pretty tanky, and not only that, the amount of abilities that you're able to do boons, working with other players, the Tempest can actually do a lot of damage, a lot of support, and the Tempest definitely gets my vote for being the biggest surprise of the elite specializations. At number 5, we have the Daredevil. The Daredevil has had a little bit of a mixed history right now. It had some major issues with the dodge, because the major mechanic for the Daredevil is the dodge ability, the extra dodge, and doing unique effects when you're dodging, and it just wasn't really working. That has been improved a lot. The Daredevil would be higher on my list because it does a credible amount of damage. It gives some great new abilities. The staff skill is really, really cool. It's not a big change for the Thief. It's not going to be a dramatic change for someone who runs dagger or pistol dagger pistol, short bow. Going staff as a Daredevil isn't really a big stretch for them. It's not like, the Guardian becoming a ranger, a ranged character. This is still a lot of melee action, and that's pretty cool. That's fine for the Thief. I think it's still a good elite specialization with some good damage, good abilities, but it isn't much of a change, and that was the whole point of the elite specializations, to change the way you actually play a profession. So that's the reason why it's at number 5. It's got potential to be a great elite specialization, and a lot of people will really have fun playing it. It just isn't a big change, and that's the thing that held it back for me. At number 4, we have Druid. The Druid, the last profession, the last elite specialization to be revealed. A lot of people were dreading what was going to be revealed, and then they revealed the Druid. And it is a fundamental change for a particular class. It is a big healing support profession or elite specialization, and it is a lot of fun to play. It has the celestial part where you become a celestial form and it changes your skills. It really is a great elite spec for the ranger. It really changes what the ranger can do as someone that could usually be a, obviously range damage, but also can de-spec as well. Now they can go into that healing support with a number of different skills, and the ranger will be very useful in things like raids, and useful in, bosses for like Tequatl, for example. The Druid has a lot of opportunity to be really well developed for the Guild Wars 2 in the future to come. So for me, it is a big change for the Ranger. That's why I think it's definitely one of the top 4 elite specializations. At number 3, we have my personal favorite elite specialization, and that is the Herald. That's the Revenant's elite specialization, because you have so much flexibility. You can be a tank, you can be a healing support, you can be a DPS Herald, you can be what you want. You can upkeep boons, you can give perma-swiftness, you can give might, you can give fury, you can give protection. You really can do a lot of different things with the Herald, and the fact that obviously we don't know how much the Herald, what it's going to be like anyway, but I still think that with the boons and the sharing, it has that ability to be slightly different from how the Revenant is now. It really has shown in PvP, in raids, that the Herald is going to be one of the elite specs that a lot of people are going to run. At number 2, it was a close decision between number 2 and number 1, but number 2 for me is the Reaper. A lot of people will have this as their number 1, and I have no qualms about this. The Reaper for the Necromancer is incredible. It is a massive change to how the Necromancer plays right now. It is a huge damage dealer. It can do condition damage as well, and it is a brilliant elite specialization. It constantly gets voted as one of the most fun elite specs to play. It's finally a chance to get Necros into, dungeons, for example, fractals, raids. It's the Necromancer's ability to do that huge hitting damage, because the Gravedigger skill in particular is a huge damage dealing skill. Not only that, they have the change to Death Shroud to become Reaper Shroud, and then you're getting those new abilities as well. And so for me, not only is it a big change to the profession, it is a great change for the profession. It's something that people want to play. It's just got it ticks all the boxes for what an elite specialization should do to a profession. For me, it's a close one, but it is my number 2. At number 1, we have the Chronomancer. The very first elite specialization to be revealed. It got great big thumbs up from the community. It's got a great name. It takes on the Guild Wars 1 lore. The skill animations are fantastic. The unique ability to do the continuum split is something remarkable. If you play it amazingly, if you play it well, this will be a phenomenal skill. You get a unique ability, this alacrity, which helps people to reduce the recharge of their skills. And in general, you get so many different options. I mean, you do get a shield as your new weapon, which obviously only has a couple of skills, but the Chronomancer more than makes up with being this new support role. It can be a damage dealer. It has the ability to do anything that the Mesmer wants and bring in new aspects to play that we didn't even think of before. You know, playing with this alacrity, the welds that you can actually put down and really can do amazing damage, do amazing support, Condi cleanses. Not only that, you've got one of those skills, which is the gravity well, which not only it pulls, it rises and knocks down. I mean, that is a phenomenal animation. I love that, seeing your enemies rise in the air, or float as it is. You're floating up in the air, you can't do anything about it. Really, really great skill, that one. And the Chronomancer for me is that number 1 because it is a fundamental difference to the class. You know, I've had people say, oh, I play Mesmer, but I don't like the Chronomancer because it is a different change. But as someone, for me, the Mesmer is the worst profession for me. I'm the weakest at it. I'm not saying I dislike it the most. It's just, for me, I find it hard to play Mesmer because it is a very different, and for me, it's the most different class out there in Guild Wars 2. The Chronomancer really gives people the opportunity to play Mesmer differently, and it's something that I, as I said, a non-Mesmer player, well, I have Mesmer characters, but I don't play the Mesmer that much. I'm excited for the Chronomancer. I like the Chronomancer, and I do like the Reaper as well, but I'm more excited for the Chronomancer. As I said, number 1 and 2 could be interchanged. Both of them are very, very good, and so I would say that it's my personal preference, is why I've gone for the Chronomancer. I hope you've appreciated this video, guys. I hope you want to comment on this. If you've got your own top 9, I'd like you to leave them in the comment section below. Give me some reasons. Give me some thoughts on the elite specs. Is there one that has the most ability to grow? I mentioned the Scrapper, in my personal opinion, has the biggest ability to jump up the rankings. I think the other ones, particularly like Berserker and Tempest and Dragon Hunter, they're a bit weak at the moment. They could be buffed up. And things like Druid, although it's a unique elite specialization, will it see a lot of use in the whole gameplay, or is it just going to be that healing spec? Interesting discussion, guys. Please let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.